Welcome to Lovegrove Wellness. Before you begin, please ensure that you are in good physical condition and ready to exercise. If you have any questions in regards to this, please consult with your doctor. Yin-based yoga flow. Beginning in a seated position, with the hands either resting in the lap or on the knees. Begin to close your eyes and bring the awareness to your breathing. We're aiming to breathe in and out through the nose, although if that isn't comfortable today, just normal breathing for you is fine. A nice long inhale, followed by an even longer exhale. As you inhale, feel the rise of the belly and the chest, and as you exhale, releasing chest and then belly. Inhale, belly and chest rises. Exhale, chest and belly releases. We're going to take 3 cleansing breaths now before we begin our practice. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale with a sigh. And again, breathing in and sigh. One more inhale and exhale with a sigh. And when you're ready, slowly start to open the eyes and begin to take some shoulder rolls backwards to open up through the chest, sitting nice and tall from the base of the spine all the way through to the crown of the head, and continuing to breathe if you can in and out through the nose. Settling the shoulders now, we're going to move into some neck mobility. So tilting the chin towards the chest, looking down, come back to center, and then looking up towards the ceiling and back to center. And again, tilting the chin towards the chest, to center, and eyes to the sky, back to center. Nice and slowly as you take this movement, and just being aware of how the neck feels today, and using that breath to be gentle with this movement. Settling back to center now, we're going to take the tilt side to side. So take the ear over towards the shoulder, back to center, and then over to the other shoulder, and back to center. As you do so, take an exhale so you can work through that stretch with the breathing. Again, just being nice and gentle here. Lots of people hold tension through their neck, so just using that breath to work into the stretch. Coming back to center now, we'll move into some slow head rolls. So bringing the chin to the chest, ear to shoulder, eyes to the ceiling, over to the other shoulder and back through center. Again, being mindful of any places where you might be holding tension, and using that exhale to increase the stretch further if necessary. And moving back in the opposite direction now, nice and slowly again, using that inhale and exhale exhaling to increase the stretch further if necessary. Returning back to centre now, we'll move into some neck mobility. Interlace the hands and then place them to the back of the head with the elbows wide. Inhale and then exhale to draw the elbows together, bringing the chin towards the chest gently. Applying gentle pressure through the back of the neck and using the exhale again if you need to take it further. Slowly releasing and bringing the eyes back up to centre. We're going to move onto the hands and knees now, so either rolling over or sweeping the feet round to the back and moving into tabletop pose. Wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips, and spreading the fingers wide, pressing the palms into the mat. We're moving into cat and cow now. Inhale, arching the back, lift the chest and tailbone, and then exhale, scooping up the spine, dropping the head and tailbone. And again, inhale, arching, opening the heart, and exhale, scooping the belly up and rounding the back. Just working through those two movements now to work through the spinal mobility, nice and slowly, using the breath. Returning back to centre, we're going to move into child's pose. So take the knees slightly wider than the hips, feet together, take an inhale, and as you exhale, push the hips back towards the heels, reaching the arms long in front and just resting the forehead down towards the mat. We're going to stay here for 1 minute, so just making sure you're nice and relaxed in this resting position, shoulders away from ears. And if you need to, you could place a cushion or yoga block under your head and have a play around with the positioning of the knees, taking them wider or narrower if you need to assist those hips back towards the heels. Use that long exhale to work deeper into that lower back. Moving out of child's pose, we're going to come into a forward fold. So coming up onto the hands and knees, and then slowly start to walk the feet towards the hands, towards the top of the mat. Taking the feet either hip width apart or big toes together, and just relaxing the head over. You can keep the knees slightly bent if necessary. Interlace the hands behind the head. Inhale for a flat back and then exhale, relaxing over the legs. We're going to stay in this fold position for 30 seconds. Take as much bend in your knees as necessary and really think about pulling the hips and the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Releasing from the forward fold, bring the hands towards the mat, and then we're going to step back the left foot now, coming into a crescent lunge. Step the left foot back long and then drop the knee down towards the mat. Untuck the back toe so you're resting on the top of the foot. Inhale, rising the arms in line with the ears, and exhale to push the hips forwards. And if it's comfortable, you can take the eyes up towards the ceiling and also take this into a slight back bend. Keeping the ribs tucked in, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. Releasing from crescent lunge, we'll move into one-legged camel. So take the left hand towards the left leg, keeping the right arm lifted, and again reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, pushing the hips forwards, again holding here for 30 seconds. Releasing from one-legged kneeling camel, bring the hands back down to frame the front foot, and we'll step the back foot in to meet the front foot and come into ragdoll pose. So take the feet hip width apart, bend the knees as much as necessary, relax down over the legs and take the hands to the opposite elbows. The crown of the head is relaxed towards the floor, we're looking towards the legs. And if it's comfortable here, you may wish to just take a swing side to side, allow the body to be nice and heavy like a ragdoll, and we're going to stay here for 30 seconds. Releasing from ragdoll, moving into the crescent lunge on the second side. Step the right foot back now and place a knee down on the mat, resting on the top of the foot. Rising the arms, inhale. Exhale, push the hips forwards, relax the shoulders, lifting the eye line and then taking a slight back bend if that feels comfortable. Again, 30 seconds here. Releasing now, we'll move into one-legged kneeling camel pose. Right arm reaches towards the right leg. Inhale, exhale, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling for our one-legged kneeling camel pose, opening the hips and opening the heart. And releasing now, we're going to move back into our resting position with child's pose. So again, just coming back onto the knees, feet together and pushing back onto the heels, relaxing the head down, and just 30 seconds here. Let's move into some side stretches. So inhale, reach the arms over to the left side and exhale to relax here. 30 seconds, keeping the hips square, just reaching the right arm slightly further to get the stretch down the side of the body. Inhale to move back through center, and then exhale over to the right side. Again, keeping the hips square, reaching the left arm slightly further, and 30 seconds here. Bringing the arms back to center now, and then lifting the chest, coming into a kneeling position. We're moving into a toe squat. So taking the knees together slightly, and then tucking the toes under, so we're resting on the underneath of the feet, and just relaxing the hips back onto the heels. Hands can just rest on the thighs, and we're aiming to hold this for 45 seconds. Now, if this does become too uncomfortable on the feet, just release the feet and rest on the tops of the feet here. Just working through some foot and ankle mobility. Moving out of the toe squat now, moving into reclined thunderbolt pose. So just untucking the toes, resting on the tops of the feet, and then take the hands slightly behind the body. We're going to take a slight lean back, opening up the chest and the heart center, and if it's comfortable, take the eyes up towards the ceiling. We're staying here for 45 seconds and aiming to open through the hips and the fronts of the legs. Think about pushing the hips towards the ceiling whilst maintaining contact of the hips on the heels. If it feels comfortable, you may wish to take the eyes slightly further back and release the neck. We're going to move into some upper body mobility, so just coming back onto the hands and knees, moving into thread the needle. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling with an inhale, open the chest, and then exhale to thread the arm under, relaxing the shoulder and ear down towards the mat and the back of the hand onto the floor. And then just reach the right arm long in front so both arms are stretching out. Holding here for 45 seconds. If it feels okay here and you want to increase the stretch slightly, use that exhale to reach the underneath arm even further through. Coming back up onto the hands and knees, we'll go on the other side. So taking the right arm this time with an inhale, reach up towards the ceiling, open the chest. Exhale, threading the arm under, keep the hips square, relaxing all the way down, and then reaching that left arm long so both arms are stretched out and holding again for 45 seconds. Let's move out of thread the needle now, and we'll move into puppy dog pose. So again, moving into a chest and shoulder opener. Reach the arms long in front, keep the hips up this time in line with the knees, and we're just going to rest the forehead towards the mat. Start to dip the chest towards the mat, and we're holding here for 40 seconds. If it feels comfortable, you might wish to start to drop the chin or even the chest down towards the mat. Staying in puppy dog pose, we're going to take the hands into a prayer position above the head and just rest the thumbs between the shoulder blades. And then if it feels comfortable, you may wish to walk the elbows forward slightly to increase the stretch through the backs of the arms. We're going to move into a seated position now, so slowly release the hands from puppy dog pose, coming up onto the hands and knees. And then when you're ready, just swinging the feet round to the front, moving into bent leg seated staff. So keeping the sit bones even, take the feet hip width apart and bend the knees, taking a cushion under the seat if you need to keep the hips in line. Rise the arms with an inhale and exhale to hinge from the hips, reaching forwards over the legs, and just relax the head down here. Really think about the tailbone pulling away from you, and we're stretching into the lower back, glutes and hamstrings. Inhale, rise the arms up, and then exhale to release them back down by the sides. We're going to move into a cross-legged position now. So take the left leg under and the right leg in front into a cross-legged position. Make sure the sit bones are even. Rise the arms with the inhale, and then exhale again, hinging from the hips and reaching forwards. Again, if it's more comfortable, you may wish to place a cushion under the seat. We're going to stay here for 45 seconds. If you can't quite reach the hands to the floor, you may wish to use a block in front of you to place your hands on. And making use of the exhale again to see if you can reach a little bit further forwards. Inhale to rise the arms up and exhale to release the arms back down. Moving into bound angle pose, staying in the seated position, take the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out to the sides. Taking hold of the feet or the ankles and lifting up tall through the chest with a nice flat back, relax the shoulders, staying here for 45 seconds. Staying in bound angle, moving into a forward fold, inhale, and then exhale to relax over the legs, aiming the head towards the feet, rounding the back. Staying here for 45 seconds. Lifting the chest now, coming back up to a seated position. We're going to move into our cross-legged position on the second side. So take the right leg under, left leg in front, even the sit bones. Inhale to rise the arms up in line with the ears, and again exhale, hinging forwards, reaching the hands towards the mat. Again, using a cushion under the seat if necessary. 45 seconds here. Moving out of this pose, inhale to rise the arms, and then exhale to release the hands back down. We're going to move into seated star pose now, similar to bound angle, but we take the feet slightly further away from the body. Again, taking hold of the feet or the ankles. Holding here with a nice straight spine for 45 seconds. Remaining in seated star pose, moving into a forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale again, rounding the spine, aiming the head towards the feet. 45 seconds here. Moving out of your forward fold, lifting the chest, bring the knees together and then lengthen the legs out in front of you. Keeping the hip bones even. Moving into head to knee pose, so keep the left leg straight and bring the right foot to the inside of the leg. And ensure that the body is facing the extended leg. Inhale, rise the arms, and exhale, hinging forwards. Again, taking the hands either side of the leg, or grabbing hold of the foot if that's available to you. We're holding here for 45 seconds. Inhale to rise the arms back up, and exhale to release the hands back down by the sides. We're going to switch sides now. So take the right leg out straight and bring the left foot to the inside of the leg. Again, ensuring that the hips are square facing the extended leg. Inhale, rise the arms, and exhale, hinge forwards. Inhale, rise the arms back up, and exhale, release the arms back down by the sides. Extend both legs out straight and moving into a straight leg staff pose now. So straighten out the hips. Again, use a cushion if you need. Inhale, rise the arms, and exhale, hinge forwards. Staying for 45 seconds, taking hold of the feet if that's available. And if you feel this pulling on the backs of the knees, feel free to keep the knees slightly bent. Moving out of your forward fold, inhale to rise the arms up, and exhale, releasing the arms down. We're going to come into a supine position now on your back. So moving towards the top of the mat, bend the knees and take hold behind the backs of the legs. Roll yourself all the way down through your spine into a lying position, arms either side of you, and take the legs up towards the ceiling for waterfall pose. 1 minute here. Use a cushion under the head if it's more comfortable. Keep the knees slightly bent if that's more comfortable today. And alternatively, you can take legs up the wall pose. Staying on your back, we'll move into some twists. So bend the knees, take the arms out to the side in line with the shoulders. Take an inhale and then exhale to drop the knees over to your left side. Keep the shoulders square and eyes up towards the ceiling or over towards the right hand. 45 seconds here. Inhale, bring the knees back through center and exhale over to the right side, shoulders square, eyes to the ceiling or over to the left hand. Inhale to bring the legs back through to center, and then exhale here. We're going to move into happy baby pose, so take the legs up towards the ceiling, slightly wider than the hips. Bend the knees towards the armpits and take hold of the outsides or the insides of the feet. Hugging the knees towards the armpits, 45 seconds here. Try to keep the head on the floor, and again if you need to, using a pillow underneath the head. Moving out of happy baby pose, just releasing the feet, bring the knees in towards the chest, give them a hug, and take a rock side to side before we move into Shavasana. So our final resting position, just reaching the legs out long on the mat, take some space between the legs and allow the feet to drop out wherever feels comfortable. Take the arms down the sides of the body with the palms facing up or slightly in towards you and slightly away from the body. Again, using a pillow or cushion under the head if more comfortable. And if you feel any pressure on the lower back, you may wish to place a rolled up towel underneath the knees to support the lower back. And when you're ready, just start to soften the eye gaze or completely close the eyes and bring the awareness back to your breathing, back to the inhale and the exhale. Nice long inhale and even longer on the exhale. Taking a few moments with the breathing and just mentally scanning the body for any tension you might still be holding. And as you take your out breath, visualize sending that breath to the part of the body where you're feeling the tension. Exhaling down the length of the arms and the legs and relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Allow the neck to feel long. And if you find the mind starts to wander, just bringing the awareness back to the breathing, back to the inhale and the exhale. And we're going to stay here now for a few minutes in Shavasana. bringing some awareness back into the physical body now. With your next inhale, just start to bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Maybe moving your head from side to side. You may wish to stretch the arms and legs long. And then one at a time, bringing both knees in towards the chest, giving them a hug and taking a rock side to side, just massaging through the spine. And when you're ready, slowly rolling onto your right side away from your heart, taking a few moments here, keeping the eyes closed if you need to, and then returning back up to a seated position when you're ready. Inhale to rise the arms up for extended mountain, and exhale, namaste. Thank you for joining me for today's yin-based slow yoga flow.